Harris says, interviewer doesn't ask good questions. Kyle put himself in a situation where he could murder others. Coward. Oh, so there it is. There it is. I didn't ask you the good question. Kyle, why did you put yourself in a situation to murder people?
I was attacked and I defended my life. I was chased down. I was ambushed. I did what I had to do to survive. And I think anybody in my situation would have done the same thing. Whoever commented that is, I want to see what they would have done in a similar situation.
Do you know what they would have done?
They would have probably not defended themselves and get killed,
They would
or
have
they
put
would
their
have
thumb in
defended
their
themselves.
asshole, laid down on the ground, and begged for mercy from people who hate them. But here's what they'll say. Well, I would have never been there in the first place. What do you say to people who say that to you? Well,
This
you
is the
should have
United States of America, right?
never been there, Kyle. Why were you there?
This is the United States of America, right?
So you shouldn't have been there. I wouldn't have let my kids go.
Okay, you may not have let your kids go, but I shouldn't have been there. Why should have anybody been there? Why were they burning down the city?
Who
Why was
cares?
anybody
You
there?
knew they were. So why'd you go and fan the flames?
Why would I fan the flames? What do you mean by that?
Well, you
Is
went. You
putting
brought
out
a
fires.
no. You brought a
Or,
gun to an incendiary situation. You
so
were
did
the
half
spark in the
half of
powder keg.
Antifa. So did half of Antifa.
But why did you, Kyle? This is Mr. Harris has a very good question here.
Because
It's
it's my
such a
Second Amendment right, Mr. Harris. And it's in the
exactly.
Constitution right here.
It,
Second
it's
Amendment
your
Constitution.
it's your Second Amendment right, and it's also absolutely your right to be there. It is your right to help your community. Did you go there intending to shoot people, Kyle?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because nobody wants to ever I don't want to have to take somebody's life. I don't want to shoot somebody. I went down there to protect people and like put out fires and
I've heard
provide
that
first aid.
I've heard that people who support the Second Amendment have masturbatory fantasies about getting to exercise their rights, and that's how they justify their murder. Is that true, Kyle? I'm asking the hard questions now, just so you know. I've got to ask them because Harris, the retard who licks his shit off of his own thumb, can't figure out how to ask a question. So I've got to ask the hard ones for him.
Where does that even come from? Like the people who support the Second Amendment use that as an excuse to kill people?
It's
I don't
the
think
most dumb thing that exists. There now, to be fair, there's certainly people who say something like, "Man, if I'm ever in that situation, I'm pulling the gun and shooting," right? But that's, in my opinion, that's puffery, that's bravado. That's not reality.
I mean, that's just people like saying stupid things. Like, granted, I think that's a stupid thing, and nobody should ever say that. And I think everybody should know better when they talk like that. But
I 100% agree. Also, Harris,
that's the biggest thing. People say stupid shit that gets themselves in trouble every day. They'll say something stupid, and then next thing they know, God forbid, they're in a self defense case, and it's being played right in front of court, or they're using it against them.
I
You
have a
know, it's another
feeling
one that I
Harris.
heard.
I have a feeling Harris has a habit of saying stupid things. I mean, just a thought, just a guess. I do have one question I really did want to ask you about. So we talked about the reason why you were there. The reason why you were there was obvious. You had a right to be there. You had a right to be involved in your community. You had a right to carry a gun. All of those things. No one is denying that. Knowing what you know now today, would you have gone in hindsight?
In hindsight, would I have gone,
Would
knowing
you?
what I know now, knowing that I would be dragged through the mud and have the nightmares I do about having to defend myself and the dreams
Right.
of having to attack somebody attacking me. I don't think I would have gone because I don't think anybody should have to like live with the nightmares I have, live with what I deal with on a daily basis. But hindsight is always 2020. I can't go back and change that I was violently attacked and I was almost killed.
No, that is, to me, in my opinion, that is absolutely the correct answer. Because any other way you answer that kind of sounds like justifying the or justifying the accusation that you were there to exercise your Second Amendment rights, if you know what I mean. Like it comes across wrong. I don't think anybody wants to go through what you went through, because that's the whole thing, right? We all train, we get our permits, we buy guns with the hopes that the only thing we ever shoot's a metal target downrange, right?
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever wants to, like, unless you, like, people that expect to take a life are just sick and twisted, unless like you're joining the military and like special forces and you sign up for that job. But anybody that goes through like a CCW permit and says, "Hey, I'm getting this gun because I just know that day is gonna come where I'm gonna have to kill somebody," is fucked up and sick and twisted in the head. And I believe everybody has a right to own a gun, but I don't think that person should own a firearm. I
Yeah.
think if you have that ulterior motive in your head to where like, yeah, I'm gonna get to use this one day, I don't think you should have the right.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree with you, because let me mildly disagree with you. I think you should have the right. I don't think you should exercise it.
That's exactly what I mean. Everybody
Yeah.
has the right, because you should have the right to self. You have the right to self defense, but you should not exercise that right to own a firearm if you have that. If you
Yeah.
have
Because
that in your head,
I think everybody has the right to say what they want, but I wish some people wouldn't exercise it because I think they're stupid, for example. Like, similar premise with less catastrophic results.